Welcome to day number one of this course, Master Excel for Finance and FP&A. Now, if you are an aspiring FP&A analyst, this course will give you all the tools that you need to master so that you can use Excel for financial reporting, analysis, financial modeling, tools like Power Query, Python and Excel, conditional formatting, pivot tables, and more. Now, today, we're starting with the absolute fundamentals: how to set up Excel for success, key settings to enable, and how to optimize your workflow like a pro. So let's start. Now, everything that I'm saying is going to be also in the attached PDF in the description below. So please refer to that one if you have questions. But now let's go back to Excel. Now, this Excel is also in the description below, and it's basically the raw data set that you will be using throughout these 30 days. Now, I have already have a couple of tabs like formats, your sheet one, and then different data sets in here. We will be formatting them, all of them together, and you will also have homework that you need to do before tomorrow. But first, let's give you some key things to start setting up Excel for success. Now, if you see this tab in here, it looks completely white, and that is because it doesn't have gridlines. Now, this way, it makes financial models look a little bit cleaner. In order to change that, then you can go to the tab all the way to the top, View, and then go to Guidelines in here. If I turn it on, then it's turned on, and then now it's off. Now, the second thing is that we're going to be setting up the quick access toolbar that I have all the way to the top. For this, you need to right click in here and then customize quick access toolbar. Now we're doing this in order to save time when doing financial models. As you can see, my quick access toolbar is already customized, but how you can do it. So for every of the commands that I have in here, you will need to find them in the part in the left. I'll recommend you to go to all commands, and then all of the commands will be there. Now you just need to find each one. So let's imagine that we would want 3D color. So then we'll click on there, and then we can add by clicking here, and it will appear at the bottom. If we wanted to move to the top, then we can do this. And if you wanted to remove it, then we would remove it in there. Now take a pause here on this video, and I want you to copy exactly what I have in here and customize your quick access toolbar. I'll give you a minute. You're back? Perfect. Now let's continue. Now, the way that I set up this is because I have a few commands that I use all the time. As I was mentioning, I recommend you to just do exactly the same as me, but then after you can set it up as well as your preference changes alongside this course. But let me show you a couple of tricks with this new quick access toolbar. So let's go to the Formats tab. Now here, I also give you some of my favorite templates or formats for different things like numbers, dates, and so on. Now let's imagine that you have a number like 5,000, and then if you just type it like in here, then it won't appear with commas, with points, with anything. But what if you want to have it like this? So like 5, comma, and then 3 zeros. Now, right now, since we have these formats, the easiest way to do it, it will be to basically copy in Format Painter. Now, the way you typically need to do it is to go to Home, then Format Painter, and then let's say that you can grab this, go to here, and then paste it there. Now, it takes just a couple of seconds, but a lot of times you will need to do it hundreds and thousands of times. Actually, for your homework, you will need to do it. So let me show you a quicker way. right now, since we enable the quick access toolbar, then we could go to here and then go Alt 1 and then just click on this cell. This way, it's so much quicker. Again, if you start to do this hundreds of times, then every second matters. Similarly, you typically need to either put more zeros or less after the final zero. Now, you could do it with these commands in here. So again, you will need to go to home and then go to decrease decimals or increase decimals. But with the shortcut, then now I'm just typing Alt 3 or Alt 2 to go the other way. Again, this way it's a little bit faster. Now, let's say that we have a table with numbers and we want to format it as a table, so with all the borders. Now, we can just select it, and by the way, for selecting, I do Shift, Control down, and then to the right. And then with the new shortcut that we put in the quick access toolbar, then you can just need to do Alt 4, and then it's like this, like a table. So again, so much more quicker. The fifth one is the gridlines. So normally I tend to do it. So right now I just need to do Alt 5 and then I can either take them off or put them again. And again, as I was mentioning, if you already enable this, then you will be able to do the same thing. Then is the color. So let's say that we want to put this with a color. Now, I'll also give you a bunch of shortcuts that you can use. So technically, I could go Alt, H, H, and then I have in here the selection of color. So let's say gray. But a way that it will be even faster would be with Alt 6, because we have in here the number 6. And then in there, then we can select any color that we would want. Now the last one, it's a favorite one of me, but just very recently, and it's especially for making videos. So let's say that I want you as a listener, as a viewer, to focus on this number here. Now I could go with my mouse and then do this. I'll make you focus on that number. But now I can do Alt 7 and then this appears. So much more quicker. Now, even if you are not a YouTuber, then this will be helpful because when you're showing your financial models to different people, then again, you would want them to focus on the percentage. And then you can just do Alt 7. Perfect. Now, let's take off this and let me explain you very quickly the formats that I put in here. So as you have seen already, I have a particular way of putting numbers that it's like 10,000, it's 10, comma, and then 2 zeros. And for negative numbers, I usually like them with in between brackets. Now, the reason of this is because whenever you have a table, very big one, like this one, then right now it's not formatted. And then it's a bit difficult sometimes to see which numbers are negative and which ones are positive, especially if you need to do this for a lot of hours a day. So if you have them in this format, that I'll just do the Alt 1 that we just learned, then it's a bit easier to quickly see which ones are in between brackets and which ones are not. Similarly, if we do this for hard-coded numbers, again, I'll just go here, and then all of these are hard-coded numbers. Then we can quickly see which ones are hard-coded numbers. And let's imagine that this is not a hard-coded number. Then we could go and then see very quickly which ones are inputs, and again, which ones are, let's say, calculations. So let's imagine that these are calculations. So visually, it's so much more faster to see what is what. Now, for totals, it's like this, but with bold. I also added you some for date, positive percentages, negative percentages. Now, the way I set up these ones is basically in here, in the number format. It's a custom format, so now since you have this file, you can go here to more number formats, and then you can just copy this part and then put it on your another file. But for this particular file, then you will have them in here as well. And I have the same thing for negative percentages. Now, this is also a very quick reminder to subscribe to this channel to continue following this course for 30 days. But as well, it's a reminder of needing to do the headers of tables this way, and then the text and the notes. Now, for your homework of today, so before tomorrow, you will need to format every table in this file in the way that I say in the formats. Again, the quickest way to do it would be to do Alt 1 and then P&L statement, let's say. Then do quickly Alt 5 for removing the gridlines. And in this case, you can also move between tabs, by the way, with Control Page Up and Control Page Down. And you can go quickly to the cell A1 with Control Home. So you will be there. Now, let's say that we want these hard-coded numbers, again, on all of these numbers. And then, as I was mentioning in here, if it's text, then we just want that part there. And I miss one. Now, you can also do very quickly this to show formulas, but then right now we don't need. So it's Control and then the first strike in the keyboard. Now, in here, we just move a little bit to see all of the categories. And again, we can format this very quickly by selecting this with Shift Control right and then down, and then do Alt H O W for width, and then set the width to 12 in order for us to see all the numbers. So I'll give you this file in the description, and again, your homework before tomorrow is to set up all of the other tabs exactly the same as this one, following the formats in the Formats tab. Are you up for the challenge? Perfect. Then see you tomorrow.